Hello guys, River Raven Miniatures here today, and finally I am working on this big project that I thought about working on for quite a while. It is the Dominion box. Oh, there we go, that's a bit better. So I've got something really special planned for this, which I don't know if too many people have picked up on. These are the test miniatures that I did. So I'm sure you've guessed by the title what we're doing today, which is painting the models with the colour scheme of these saucers. So this idea just came to me one day when I was driving in the car, and I thought, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the Dominion box miniatures after these two saucers. You can't get these saucers anymore, but we will be also eating them today. They are out of date by about almost a year now. So that's a little concerning, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's go get some nuggets and get into this. Hey, can I grab 10 nuggets and a large chocolate frappe?
Chocolate frappe, and was that 10 nuggets?
Yep.
Any sauce?
Alright guys, we are back. I've got my nuggets. Be honest, I'm quite nervous about this. Oh, sauce, won't need that. Be honest, I'm very nervous about this because yeah, it's out of date and one contains egg. But I think I'm just gonna Google it real quick, see if it's okay. Hey Google, will you get sick from eating out-of-date McDonald's sauce?
According to Delish, they sorted condiments by how long they can last for optimal flavor. Eating condiments beyond this date may not make you sick, but it might not taste great.
Alright, that's reassuring, so let's get this old sauce open and see what happens. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. What is that in there? Is that mold? Alright, so that one does actually smell like exactly the way it should from what I remember, though it does smell a little bit strange. Alright. Oh, that looks interesting. Okay, I thought I saw mold, but that's just a chili seed, I think. Alright, got my nuggets. Let's do this. Alright. It smells like chili, so I think that's chili seed and not mold. No, it is chili seed. Wish me luck. Alright. It definitely doesn't taste like it did when I first had it, when it was, you know, in date. It's not too bad though. It really just tastes like a dull chili sauce. Doesn't taste great though. Alright. Number 2, the Cajun. This one I am worried about because this is the one with egg, but alright, we're just gonna... Oh, that's... Hold on. Let me see if I can show you. Come on, focus camera. Thank you. You can see that it's like very stuck together. Alright, this one I'm a little worried about. It smells fine though, it just smells like mustard. Oh, this is really weird. This doesn't taste like anything. I don't want that much. This is really weird. This doesn't taste like anything. It actually smells stronger than what it tastes like. Alright, licking it like that, there's a slight mustard taste. I don't want to eat any more of that one. Not that it tastes bad, it just doesn't taste like anything. Alright, so we've seen me try the out-of-date sauce, so let's get into the main part of the video, actually painting the miniatures. First though, let's finish off these nugs. Yeah, that's much better. Alright guys, shenanigans aside, we are now going to paint some models. So I've got all of them here with their base coats on. First we're going to start with the orcs, and I'm just putting down a layer of bleach bone over all the skin. Next up I'm mixing some yellow with some witch flesh, and I'm trying to replicate the colour of the sauce. So it's a very hard colour to try and replicate. You can tell that there's like a bit of orange in there. I tried my best, but I don't think I quite got it. But we're also adding skeleton horde contrast paint, and this is probably my favourite paint of all time. I literally use it on everything. So this is what they all look like with all their skin done besides highlights. So now we're onto the shields. And what I wanted to do for the shields is do them two different colours to kind of mix it up a bit. I kind of see these orcs as just like not very uniform, so yeah, I always really enjoy like mixing it up. And I tried to replicate the purple, and I think I got it pretty close. For the cloth pieces I wanted to mix up the colours because obviously they're kind of stitched together like rags all stitched together, so I mixed them up a bit. Here I'm giving the shield a base coat of white because I'm doing a base coat of yellow, and the yellow just never goes good unless you do a base coat of white. And for the captain here, I really just wanted to give him a yellow shield so that he would stand out. And yeah, there's so many intricate details on these shields. I was quite surprised actually. So I absolutely loved painting these shields. I love the faces on them, they're just so good. Like, my hat really goes off to Warhammer for making these. They're just so cool, and I just enjoyed every minute painting them. And this was the final results. So I am going to show some more at the end, but this is what there is for now. So now I'm on to the archers, and I basically did them exactly the same besides the quiver and these little shield things I did red, and then the arrows yellow to represent fries in a little red packet, and I think they came out pretty good. So I thought we'd look at the sweet chili sauce again, because now we are moving on to that one. So there's the packet, and this is what the inside of the sauce looks like, very red. And here's our stormcasts, our sweet chili stormcasts. So I didn't want to do them all pink, like I know the packet's pink, but I decided just to do like their undergarments and the wrapping on the spears pink. I figured that was kind of enough pink for the models. But then yeah, we've definitely got a lot of red to do, so I wanted the full lot of armor to be red, of course, and I did want to try and get that sort of deep sweet chili red that we just saw. So I ended up using Vallejo's heavy red here, and I think it comes up a lot red than what it actually was. It's definitely not that red in person. And what I did was started off with the Vallejo red, and then we went to corn red, and then we went to a very bright red, Mephiston red. And that just really built up the colours and made it look really good. Next up, I took these browns so that we could do all the belts and buckles. So yeah, I decided to do the leathers in a leather colour rather than do them in any of the colours off of the packet of sauce, mainly because I just don't think that it would have worked, and I do like to try and keep some stuff semi-realistic. Same with the blades here, I'm painting them in Necron compound, and that's just because that's what blades look like. So yeah, I don't want to paint them, you know, a wild colour to kind of match my colour scheme that I'm going for, but I think that it works and it gives them a bit more of a realistic feel. And yeah, so I went for gold over the top of the Necron compound on these bits, and then used the null oil just to give it a bit of shading and colour, which worked really well. It turned out really good. So here I'm just using the null oil and then trying to wipe it off, so basically it'll go into all the crevices where I need it, and then highlighting it with a white. And here I'm just using a mix of white and gold to highlight the gold parts. So with our sweet chili Stormcast done, we need to remember what nuggets look like, because that is the next colour scheme for these boys. So these are the Hob Grots, and I've never painted them before, and honestly wasn't looking forward to painting them. I just think there was so many of them and they're so little. But basically after I got the first coat down, I really did start to enjoy it. I just did them really basic, kind of similar to the Orcs colour scheme, and then I tried to brown them up to kind of make them look more like a nugget. And I think they turned out alright. I added a bit of rust on some of them, and yeah, that was basically it. We got some bleached bone for the toes and the teeth, and that's pretty much them. We had this boy, which is like the sorcerer's apprentice or something, so he sits by him. He was quite fun to paint. And then we have a few miscellaneous ones. So we have this Griffhound, which I decided to do a red and then do like the yellow mane on him, kind of going with, you know, the McDonald's colours, I guess. I think he turned out really well though. So I apologise that not all the models are in here. I did a quick time lapse of this one, but unfortunately there was just too many of them. I would have loved to have gone through all of them with you guys, but yeah, there was just too many. Alright, so yeah, we have a quarter pounder here, and that is because this is going to be the colour scheme for the Gnash Tooth, and yeah, I just wanted to do the Gnash Tooth something a little bit different, and basically since I've had this idea, I thought, you know, this is the colour scheme that I want to do. And I'm sorry if you don't like bites out of food like this, but that's the colour scheme, so we need to have a good look at it. As you can see, it's kind of brown with like crispy black bits on top and a generous amount of cheese. So yeah, let's get into it. There was also this spicy sauce which they had not been serving before, and it was really good, so who knows, maybe this will be a colour scheme in the future. I could see the Towel Empire with this colour scheme, I reckon. So we've got him here with his base coat on. This figure is just so cool. I can't stress that enough. For some reason I didn't film me painting the start of this. I don't know if I lost the footage or where it's gone, but yeah, I tried to do that like grey sort of colour for his belly and then the brown obviously for the top. And I put a bunch of Skeleton Horde washes over the top, and then we just, I guess, yeah, blackened him to try and get that crispy look like on the burger. And I think it worked really well. Here I did white on his little hairs just to kind of represent the onion. And for his mouth, I just did a normal mouth. Like I said with the leather, I don't want to go out of the realms of like possibilities, but I do like to make just certain things look realistic, and I really feel that when you do certain things realistically, it just pulls it all together really nicely. So yeah, I really yellowed up his teeth there. And of course, I had to do the whole cape over him yellow to represent the cheese, and that really does look like cheese. It's really cool. He's got a bunch of knickknacks here that, man, he's got so many heads hanging off of him, so many knickknacks, like jawbones here, so many things. We of course have got the red to represent the sauce. He just, I don't know, it was an odd idea to begin with, and he just turned out perfect. Here I'm adding a little Easter egg. So I did a video painting these purple snow ogres, and I just thought I would throw this in as like a little Easter egg. I'll leave that video up the top and down below if you want to check it out afterwards. So we've got some little details here, and that is basically him done. He was an absolute treat to paint, and I highly recommend picking him up. So this one here, I honestly really dreaded painting it. I'd left it right to the end, as I do with all of sort of like the big ones that I know are going to take a lot of time. And yeah, like I was honestly dreading it because I was so nervous about painting it, and I really didn't want to mess it up because it is an absolutely stunning figure. But, you know, I shouldn't have worried because, you know, I can take as much time as I need to paint it. And she turned out absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with how she turned out, and also very easy to paint. I thought the wings were going to cause me a lot of dramas, but honestly a quick dry brush over them and they were done. So yeah, this is another model that if you're into Warhammer, maybe even if you're not into Warhammer, you've got to pick this up and paint it. It is just so nice. So as you can see, I originally did the hair brown and it just wasn't working, but the answer was in front of me the whole time. So we changed it to white hair, and I think it works a lot better. Next, of course, we've got all of the terrain that she's standing on. I just pretty much do a dry brush, do some highlights, and really that's all you need. I decided to do these little pools because I'm going for like a very swampy sort of area. And then for around the bases, I wanted to try and do a water base, but where the plastic ends, I like to add a bunch of sand to kind of make it look like it's flowing a bit better into it. And this is the glue that I tried to use to do the water base. Keep in mind, I've never done a water base in my life, and I picked up this cheap glue from Kmart, and yeah, lucky don't have a girlfriend because that says single use only. Could have gotten into a lot of trouble for that. But basically put it down and spread it out with a toothpick, and it probably wasn't the best idea to buy some cheap glue and put it on my models I just spent, you know, the last couple of months painting. But yeah, so I noticed the glue here just really wasn't working at all. It all clumped together, and I don't even know how it did that because I'd spread it out and then it would all clump back together. I didn't even know it was physically possible for glue to do that. You can see some are kind of working better than others though. So I persisted through it. I had a helper for this part, so that really helped. Definitely recommend getting a helper if you don't have one. Usually it's best to get someone who's lazy, who will just sit there and watch you do all the work, because I don't really want anybody helping me. But yeah, all jokes aside, it's been an absolute treat painting these miniatures. And as you can see, the water didn't turn out too bad. There is a bit of a white line around things, which, yeah. Overall though, I think it turned out good. This one looks really cool, and there's even a bit of water like coming off the foot, so I can't be too upset with it. For glue that was $3, you know, I don't think there's too much to complain about. Though I will say I should have done a bit more research because it could have easily messed up my models. But yeah, I think for the most part they turned out alright. Some of them have got this white bit around them, but honestly, I don't really mind. So for the final touches, we've got these reeds, pretty self-explanatory, just a bit of green, a bit of brown, that'll sort them out, as well as some white for the skulls. So I'm just gluing on some bushes and shrubs here. There was no way to get around the swamp bases, and I don't mind doing the swamp base. I think it does work with my colour scheme. But if you wanted to do something different, I think it would be very hard to try and find a workaround for it. So I would highly recommend just working with it. Here I've got the cheek glue on the left and the Citadel glue on the right here. Obviously, I tried the Citadel glue and I think that it works a lot better, but that's a lot of Citadel glue and it does stink. So obviously it's just not worth the money that it would cost to use Citadel glue solely. So this model here is the original one that I started off with that birthed the idea that I could do this. This is the original next to the end result. I do love the end result, but I also do love the original. So here's the original orc. As you can see, there's quite a bit of red throughout his clothing, which I then took away with the end result. And I'm really happy with the way that they turned out. I just think they look awesome. So we're going to go through all of the models that I've painted. So sit back and enjoy these beats. And think about leaving me a comment down below. I'd love to hear what your ideas are, if you like this colour scheme, which model is your favourite, and which model you're possibly going to be picking up. So let me know, and I'll be back right at the end. guys, that has been our look at the Cajun Orcs and the Sweet Chili Stormcast Eternals. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. It took me a really long time to put together, so if you can give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, that would be awesome. If you've enjoyed any of the music in this video, I will leave links to all that down below. Anyway guys, it's been an absolute treat painting these. I do really hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next video.